What is goody, my people? We are back again with another gem. Listen, today I'm going to be super transparent with y'all. Not only am I going to break down a $20,000 trade, but you guys are going to see me withdraw that entire amount. You guys are going to see the real things. I ain't talking about just no screenshots. Y'all going to see the real thing. Y'all got to see the broker send it to my account. Y'all going to see me withdraw it from my actual account into my bank account. Y'all going to see it all. None of that fugazi stuff. Not only y'all going to see me actually withdraw this money, but I'm also going to show you guys exactly how you guys can hopefully do this for yourself one day as well. Because being able to make $20,000 in a short span of time is absolutely amazing, and I wish that feeling on everybody. So if you're excited for this video, if you want to learn how to do this for yourself, smash the freaking like button, and I'll see you at the end of the video. All right, so boomski, right? I don't want to just hop right into the charts. I have to give you guys a little bit of a disclaimer, right? This does not happen all the time. I don't always hit $20,000 trades. If you guys follow me on Instagram, which I suggest you do, it's up there or it's up there. I don't know. It's in one of these freaking corners. If y'all find me on Instagram, y'all know I post almost all of my trades on my Instagram Reels or on TikTok, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? I usually hit for about, honestly, from 5 to 9K per trade, right? That's what I usually do. With this trade, I ended up hitting for a lot more. I didn't actually get to record me actually being in the trade because I didn't know it was going to go this stupid. I wish I would have, because then I would have showed y'all my live reaction to it. But I do have the whole trade set up. I'm going to show you guys exactly why I took it, why I like these kind of setups, what strategy I was using, what setups I was actually looking at. So hopefully, like I said, you guys can do it for yourself and end up making this stupid amount of money and end up buying me like a Lamborghini or a Rolex or something like that. But without further ado, let's just hop right into these charts, man. All right, so boom, here we are on the charts. This was a NAS 100 trade. This is an NQ chart, which is just the NAS 100, the futures version of NAS 100. If you guys did not know, I trade futures and I trade Forex, but I actually traded this on my Forex broker, which is Osprey. That's the broker that I use if you want to sign up with them. They're the only broker I've ever used since I've been trading Forex and since I started trading in 2017. They're literally the only broker I've ever used. So if y'all want to use them, I've never had any problems with them. You can hit this link for inside description down below. But yeah, so it was a NAS 100 trade. It was not today. It was actually last Friday. So basically what had happened was I had done this pre-market breakdown analysis. If you guys did not know, for all of my students, if you buy any of my courses, if you're a student of mine at all, I do pre-market analysis every single morning where I tell you guys what trades I'm looking for, what I'm looking for the day, buys or sells, in a bunch of different pairs. Basically every single pair I trade. You guys, I kind of have a live breakdown of all the different pairs and what I'm looking for, and I also have a Q&A basically every single morning when the market is open. But I was basically telling them like what I was looking for. I had a nice squeeze strategy going on, which is one of the strategies that I talk about inside my strategies course. It was an absolute beautiful setup that I was looking at. We had multiple touches on this trend line. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 touches on the uptrend line, and 1, 2, 3 touches on the bottom trend line, which for me is an absolutely beautiful setup. I talked about this 100 times in my strategies course. If you're in my Discord, I literally, y'all remember me breaking down this exact trade. But on this day, we did have news at 7:30. Now, I knew news would affect the market pretty like drastically, honestly. So that's why I was hesitant. I didn't want to hop in this squeeze strategy. First of all, if you want to learn any of my strategies, if you want to become a student, I forgot to say this in the beginning, people's probably questioning like, what the heck is he talking about? If you want to learn how to trade, how I trade, how the setups I take, learn all the strategies that I use every day to freaking rob the markets. And if you want to get access to our Discord and get access to those free pre-market breakdowns every single day that I'm doing with the Q&As afterwards, you can hit the link for it inside my description down below. It's gemifyacademy.com. It's over there somewhere if you can read it, or just go to gemifyacademy.com. I'll leave a link for it inside the description down below. And just because I'm nice, you can use code Josiah15. I always give y'all a code when I'm making these videos. But use code Josiah15, JOSIAH 15 for 15% off on any of my courses, my indicator, any of that. You know what I'm saying? But let me hop back into these charts. So I don't know why I always give y'all a discount. It just happens. I don't know. I guess I'm a nice person. But like I said, I knew news would go crazy, so that's why I didn't want to enter this trade before news happened. News happened at 7:30 Central Standard Time, so 7:30 my time. And I was hesitant to hop in the trade, but I did say inside my pre-market analysis that I was very bullish on it, which means I did expect price to go to the upside. So I could have honestly hopped in the trade here and done my usual breakout strategy that I talk about inside my strategies course. And I would have hit for a pretty fire trade, honestly, off rip just with this news. But I did not want to trade the news, so I ended up not trading the news. I waited for the markets to cool down, and then I saw another squeeze happening here. After news, we still had the respect of our bottom trend line that I showed you guys before. It failed to break through it this time right here. It came down and looked like it was going to break to the downside, but it ended up continuing going to the upside. But I told you guys this is that same trend line I talked about in my pre-market analysis that I had done that morning. We had multiple touches on it, and it still respected it these last 2 times that it came to touch down into the trend line. So I was still counting this as a squeeze. And the reason I count it as a squeeze is because we then have a counter trend line coming from the upside. The squeeze strategy is really like one of my favorite strategies to use. The squeeze breakout strategy it works so beautifully on NAS, on gold, and on GJ. It works absolutely freaking amazing on those pairs, and I just love trading it on those specific pairs. But nonetheless, we then had after news made the first high right here, and then price came back up again and made this trend right here. So then usually I like to wait for 3 taps on my trend lines for me to really feel confident about the trades. And I got kind of a stutter the next time it touched it. It kind of went to a little consolidation when it came to touch this white line again, which I took that as okay, this is an okay setup. You know what I'm saying? This is not an A+ setup. I talked about in my last video, taking A+ setups versus taking any old freaking setups. This was not an A+ setup for me. This was more so a risky setup for me. So I did not feel super confident about it, because usually when I'm doing these squeeze strategies, I would hop in the trade right here, let's say, and I would put my stop loss right below the wick of the body of the candlestick on Heikin-Ashi candlesticks. I talk about Heikin-Ashi candlesticks and why I use them on my channel all the time and inside my courses, but I'm not gonna go into why I use them in this video because that's not the video for it. But then I would have targeted my highs up here, or I honestly would have targeted these highs right here personally just to be safer if it was an A+ setup. But this one is not an A+ setup. That's why I waited for extra confirmation, honestly. So what I ended up actually doing, let me delete this, is when I had this consolidation here on this trend line, I just wanted to see a close above this line right here. So once I got a close above that line, I hopped in a smaller position right here, literally right here, and I put my stop loss below the consolidation box, which was a safe enough stop loss for if price had reversed down and it took me out the trade down here, I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? That was a trade where I was just ultimately wrong. There was nothing I could do about it. I just took the trade, but it was ultimately wrong. So when that happened, well, if that happened, then I can't do nothing about that. I can't be mad about it. So I felt confident putting my stop loss below this box here versus me putting it here and trying to get a super tight stop loss. So I had a bigger stop loss, but I also had a huge take profit zone because I knew if we could make it past this zone right here, and this is the reason why I held it past this zone. If we can make it past the zone of the news high, we didn't have any more resistance at all. You see, this is all open territory right here. This is what I like to see when I'm looking at trades. I like to see a lot of open territory in the direction of my take profits. So I knew if we made it past this white line right here, that ultimately I could go for this green target zone up here, which was the last swing high on this downtrend here. So I literally targeted just that green line. As you see, it hit the green line and absolutely reversed off of it. Now, if I had caught this reversal down, this would have been a completely different video. I'd be making my first $100 million, billion, $1,000 day trading video breakdown if I caught the sell off this zone here, but I was happy with this buy that I ended up catching. But let me explain to you kind of what happened when it got to this first profit zone and why I ended up actually holding my position. I didn't even tell you guys I added another position. Yeah, so I told you guys it was a risky setup. So I entered a smaller position right here. But then when price actually ended up closing above here, I hopped into another trade. I hopped into a bigger position here because I felt more confident about it because it broke this swing high right here. So I entered a much bigger position at that point. I kept my stop loss at the same point right here. Actually, I think I moved it up at this point. I moved it to just below the body of this candlestick with my now 2 positions. Well, now my full huge position in. And then I waited to see how it react to this white line here, reacted to the high zone of this news. Now, the great thing about Heikin-Ashi candlesticks is what I like to tell a lot of people, and I explain this on my YouTube channel multiple times, is Heikin-Ashi makes you a lot less scared to hold your trades. And what I mean by that is if you look at this uptrend in this kind of rally to the upside on Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, we don't see any red candlesticks. This is stress-free for me right now because I'm not seeing no change of color direction. I'm not seeing no change of color where I feel like I have to hop out the trade right now or my trade is going to reverse. Versus if I was on regular candlesticks, this would be a bunch of green, then some red right here on this line, then a bunch of green. I literally told myself, right, When it got to this line, I actually had moved my stop loss to take my stop loss to break even. So this was a risk-free trade. But I told myself if I saw a red candlestick on the 5-minute time frame, I would hop out of the trade. And you guys have seen me do multiple different market or trade breakdowns where I've held my trade much longer because I've had that same mentality of when I see a change of color candlestick, I'll hop out the trade. If I don't see that, I'm not hopping out of the trade. So we got to our zone here. We got right to our line here, and it started to consolidate just for a little bit on the 5-minute time frame. We had this candlestick that looked like it wanted to go down to the downside, but it ended up closing green. We had another candlestick where it looked like it wanted to go to the downside, but it ended up closing green. And then we had this one where it just absolutely powered through our zone here, and that's when I knew I was about to be freaking rich. You know what I'm saying? Once I saw this candlestick right here that powered through it, and then we had this additional candlestick at the top, I just knew there was no more resistance after this white line. So I knew I'd be hitting the freaking bank and going to the freaking Lamborghini store and buying everything there. You know what I'm saying? So after that, it was really gravy. You know what I'm saying? As soon as this candlestick happened, I was just ready to close out the trade. I knew it had no more resistance to go to the upside. It was very, very unlikely that it would just randomly reverse. Plus, my stop loss was at break even, so I was not worried about the trade anymore. It ended up hitting my take profit absolutely perfectly for a 3 to 6 risk to reward ratio. And then, like y'all see here, it completely reversed right off of my take profit, which is very satisfying to see. I don't know if you guys have ever caught the top on a trade, like your take profit was the perfect area. I don't know if that's ever happened to y'all, but that's like the biggest thing in the world. Forget like getting complimented by your crush or something like that. This is the best feeling in the world when you squeeze a trade out for all of the money possible. That's like the best thing in the entire freaking world. And that's what happened there on top, with the cherry on top of me making a good amount of money. So now that you guys see the trade breakdown, what actually made me the money and why I took the trade, why I held the trade, my profit targets, my stop loss, all of that good stuff. Let me show you guys the fun part, which is withdrawing the money. You guys probably heard before, the money is not yours. You did not make profit until you withdraw. And I don't like showing like withdrawal videos and stuff like that. I've never done one of these before, and I'll probably never do it again. Anytime somebody asks me, where's your withdrawal videos? I'll just send them the link to this video. It's pointless for me because I don't really care if people don't like believe that I make money from trading, because it's in my bank account either way, if you believe or not. I believe because I see my freaking bank account. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I don't really care too much when people be like, show the withdrawals. But I'm gonna just do this one video, this one time. So let me show y'all, right? So I use Osprey. If you guys want to use Osprey, there's a link for it inside my description down below. I've never had any problems with Osprey, no matter how big the withdrawal was, no matter how small the withdrawal was, deposits, none of that. They've been perfect to me. Like I said, I've only ever used Osprey. Their spreads are good. Everything's just great. You know what I'm saying? I've never had any complaints with them. So if y'all want to use them, there's a link for it inside my description down below. But as you see here, I ended up withdrawing basically the entire amount that I made on that trade. I think I withdrew a little bit more just to make my account number even, so it wasn't just like a random number. So that's why I have this 918 number. But this is the email. There's no screenshot. This is completely like real. I could press log in here if I want to. I'm not gonna press that. But your withdrawal for $20,918 has been approved at Gateway, bada, bada, bada. So Osprey approved the withdrawal, and then they sent the money to my Coinbase account. They send their withdrawals in Bitcoin. So then we can come over here to Coinbase. This is my Coinbase account. I'm not going to show y'all nothing crazy. I'm just going to show y'all that this is real. I can click stuff. I can press view more, receive, all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So basically what happened, I received the Bitcoin here for $20,909. This one was $918, but I guess there was fees, or the price of Bitcoin had changed by the time it got in my wallet. I don't freaking know, but they stole $9 from me, which is pretty sad. That's a bottle of juice, I guess. Orange juice? I don't know. It's something, but they stole that from me, but we won't talk about that. I'll let that slide. But as you see, I received it, 0.69 Bitcoin. And then I had some other Bitcoin inside of my wallet already. So I ended up selling the Bitcoin. Reference code, I'm going to block that out. Hopefully I remember to block that out because I don't know what y'all could do with that information. So hopefully I'll block that out. But as y'all see, I ended up selling it for all of my money. And when I sold it, then I just withdrew it out of my Coinbase account and into my bank account. And I'm not going to show y'all my bank account because I don't feel like blocking out all the numbers and stuff like that, realistically, if I'm being 100% honest with y'all. If y'all still don't believe that this is real money, I don't know what the heck to tell you. I'm not showing you my bank account because next you're going to want to ask for my social security number. And then I'm going to have to get your grandma. And your grandma needs is going to be disappearing. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyways, that is the end of the freaking video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys were able to see why I took this trade, how I was able to make money from this trade, so you guys can ultimately duplicate it for yourselves. This is the same setups that I take basically every single day, the same strategies I talk about all the time. Like I said in the beginning of this video, if you want to learn how to trade exactly how I trade, take the same setups that I trade, become part of our Discord community, which is absolutely amazing. We have every single trading day. I have pre-market breakdowns where I break down trades. I show you guys exactly what I'm looking at. Sometimes I'm actually trading live with you guys in the morning time if a trade does come up. And also at the end of those sessions, I have a Q&A, so you guys can ask me literally any questions that you guys will have. If any of that sounds cool to you, hit the link for it inside my description down below. It's gemifyacademy.com. Use code Josiah15 for 15% off all the courses, all the indicators, all that type of stuff. So yeah, that's really about it. If you enjoyed this video, I would greatly appreciate if you smash the freaking like button. And I know you watching this and like, dang, this man is very handsome. Subscribe. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? I won't feel weird. Just subscribe. I'm handsome and give great information. And I'm also entertaining. What's there not to like about me? You know what I'm saying? Subscribe, find me on Instagram over there somewhere at Joovier_. And if you enjoyed this video, I know you will enjoy this video right here. I broke down exactly how you guys can get funded, how I get funded all the time with all of the funded accounts that I have, all the funded accounts that I've done for other people. Don't tell nobody I did that. But yeah, so I shared the secret sauce in that video, so I know you will enjoy it. So I'm gonna see y'all in that video.